What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rideshare Rodeo Podcast. This week, I have a guest. It's Dave from TikTok. If you're not familiar with Dave, you will be here shortly. He's a delivery dude, Dave. He used to be Doordash Dave, and I'm sure we'll get into all of that. But welcome, Dave.
Thank you
for
for having me, Steve. Absolutely. Glad to be here, man.
Yeah, I am too, man. You know how it is with TikTok, and a lot, we should probably say that a little bit here is that a lot of these people don't. A lot of people on YouTube stay away from TikTok. A lot of people I know on Twitter stay away from TikTok, but some venture that way too. But if you haven't caught Dave's stuff, Dave is definitely he's got opinions like I do, and he doesn't hold them back. In fact, I think we'll get into it, but I believe that's part of you changing the name of your handle on TikTok, your channel name.
Absolutely. It's definitely part of it, just that association.
I knew right away. I'm like, I mean, we have a guy here. I don't know if you watch much YouTube, but there's a guy here, a friend of all of ours, Marco Nova. He used to be Nova Dasher. Now he's Nova Hustles because he got burned. And he literally, even though that would get him more views to keep the Dasher, Nova Dasher in his name, he still was like, no, it needs to go. I don't care.
Exactly. It's just it was a moral conundrum for me. So it was just I'm not with it anymore. I don't want to be associated with what's going on and what's pretty much getting worse. So I'm bailing.
Well, but are you? I mean, are you bail? I mean, I know that you're doing flags and other things, but I mean, like, you still have access to the DoorDash platform.
Oh, absolutely. I still do it. I'm still, cherry picking, looking for offers on every platform that I have. I have everything going, because I really do think that's the best way to do gig work is multi-apping. You can't be held to one platform, because then you're just putting all your eggs in one basket and you're just kind of at their behest, and that could be a very bad thing, with seeing some of these offers and, especially in areas that you require a high AR. That's another thing that I know that I've seen you talk about, and this whole tier system, the mind games, the manipulation. The more apps you have, the more powerful I feel you are, because you're more able to pick and choose and see, okay, you know what, I'm going to take an offer here, offer there. It's slow on this app, but hey, on this app, it's booming. So
Yeah.
I was stuck on DoorDash for a while, actually, because that was the only thing that I had going. I had Uber Eats, but Uber Eats in my area is dead. So it's not really a second option. So getting on Instacart, getting on Amazon Flex, clutch, came in the clutch.
Yeah. I mean, and like you said, it's better to be onboarded for when, it doesn't take a deactivation. I mean, like, so if you're just like, I've had it with this damn app, maybe it's even DoorDash, I've had it with it for a minute, I need to step away. You need to be onboarded already. You can't go, okay, let's onboard to others, because then you got to process, and you might end up back at DoorDash being pissed off before you even have the chance really to get into you need to have them ready so you can just jump ship and go, I'm turning this on today, I don't care.
100%, because some of these have wait lists. Actually, a majority of them have these very long wait lists. Instacart, I was on the wait list for about a year and a month.
So December 5th, I'll be on the Amazon Flex wait list for 3 years, and I live in a metro city.
Man, yeah, it's
probably time
wild
for me to follow up. They might just go, dude, I don't know, you registered it under this email, you probably don't even have it anymore. I don't even remember. That's how, I've sat the wait lists out, I get it, but I'm just like, really? I just know that this city, I do a ton of B2B stuff, and so I'm like, you guys need me on Amazon Flex, and I watch you doing it. I do have some questions about that too, but I guess first I would like to know, so most of your content on TikTok was, like you said, it was all DoorDash for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on TikTok, guys, like if you're kind of curious, because I don't think you're on YouTube, correct?
Not yet. I'm starting to do that transition. I was going to start doing a channel with, some tutorials, but kind of branching out more like in, with delivery dude Dave, where, I talk about Amazon Flex, Instacart, just, everything all, instead of
Yeah.
just focusing on DoorDash. But I do want to make a channel with like my DoorDash skits because that's one thing I want to do. I have some really
Yeah,
good ones on there.
I'm
So
sure you remember Daniel Mad Dasher. He was on TikTok for a while. He was doing DoorDash videos where he was like flying. This is like pretty pre-AI stuff too. This wasn't that long ago, but now he's here. He has two channels. One of them's his skits and the other one's his channel. But he used to be a big TikToker. I was pretty sure you'd know who he is. But
no. I
yeah.
actually just got on TikTok earlier in the year. So, I haven't really
Okay,
been
maybe
on
right as he was leaving.
for too long. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean,
I know I
you've put out a
appreciate.
lot of videos then for that amount of time.
Yeah.
Some of
Oh
you
yeah.
guys, man, on
It's
TikTok. I mean, I guess I could do it. I mean, why couldn't you do it after every delivery? But I mean, like literally, I see some of
it's
you guys who, and I
it's
look at how long's this person been here?
because
Like HB.
something always happens. Something
I know.
always happens. So it's very easy. These things, it's like DoorDash gives you so much content, and sometimes what happens is you have so much that you can't even get to it all in one day. You're already at 12 videos and you could probably make 20 with all the nonsense you've gone through in that day. So,
Oh, facts. I mean, yeah, and I mean, especially, I do a lot of comparisons to my market now, and even some people in my market think we can go farther and things could be better. Of course they could, but the transparency thing alone is pretty weird. Like to watch the plus go away, it's not even there anymore, man. There is no, you might get 25 extra cents. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
okay, whatever. Like, whatever. It's not like back in the day. You're not going to get $100.
Yeah.
There's no real hidden tip.
I've seen it from anywhere from 5 cents to $50, and most of the
Yeah.
time it's very low. It's within a dollar, and why do we need to play these games? It's like, why don't you tell me what I'm gonna get paid and we can just get the job done?
You need to start your channel on YouTube. We need another good voice of good over here. There's a lot of channels there's a lot of good channels, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of channels that promote almost like the best is still to come, that kind of stuff that well, like
But it's
here's my
not.
view. I'm not going to talk you into doing gig work. I'm not going to talk you out of it. But if you're doing it, let's talk.
Absolutely.
Like,
Exactly. And that's something that I always say on TikTok, that if you have other options, go with the other options, because this is not for the faint of heart. This is not easy. I know people, are always promoting, hey, this is easy way to make money, you're your own boss. There's a lot of ups and downs, and this is not something that I recommend people go into unless they have to, and unless they want to. Maybe they want some more freedom with their time to pursue something else and build a business or something. Um, but yeah, that's what I always say. I say, hey, if you have other options, definitely stick with those other options. But yeah, like you said, if
or
we're
add them
gonna
all
do this,
together.
yeah, exactly, do a
Like
side
me, like
hustle.
I've been talking recently, and maybe it's my age creeping up on me, but I've been talking recently quite a bit about, and I always have, but I'm really been getting into it about, listen, it might not be the same number for everybody, but pick the amount or pick a target amount of income streams you want. Like for me, it's to have 10 and they all are 10% of my income, because then at any point, one can get kicked out from under me. I lost 10% of my monthly income. I can replace that. But if I'm doing all
Exactly.
DoorDash and I get wrongfully deactivated, now what? That was 100%.
Exactly. You can't have all your eggs in one basket. You gotta diversify, and
But
it
I
reduces your
apply that
risk.
even to the W2 world, and even to like where you were saying, if you got something better, take it. I agree with that. But I would even tell you, take that down. Don't try and make everything part-time. Try and make everything 5 to 10 hours, and because like, trust me, like I 20 years in the bar industry. If you take a job for 10 hours a week, you will be offered 50 other hours a week from other people. Sick, this, that, fill in. We're going to be busy this night. So like, just take minimal hours, because if you click with somebody, they're going to offer you more. Then you get to decide. So, I mean, jobs are tough to come by anyway right now. Job reporting isn't correct. A lot of things are wrong, but I would definitely say, I still say to everybody, man, I don't trust nobody anymore. So do you
No,
get as many income streams as you can, and
that's
just
it.
everybody become a hustler, man, on some level.
That's it. That's it. You have to just think about it as you're your own business, you're your own brand. You have to stop working for these other companies. You have to start thinking, even if you are working for these other companies, what you do with that income, you got to start building something for your own. Like you're saying, just you have to build other revenue streams. Um, it's getting tough out there. Things are getting very expensive, and things are not getting any easier. So
Yeah.
I don't know what else it's going to take to happen in this world for people to start realizing you have to start looking out for yourself and stop making these rich people even richer, Like,
So if you started the TikTok channel just, let's say, a year ago, even, or whatever, how
yeah,
long
it's
have you
been
been doing DoorDash?
DoorDash. I just got my email for 7 years. I've
Oh,
been
okay. So
on for
quite
7 years.
pre-pandemic.
Yes, yes. So I've been
Pre-pandemic.
on
Okay.
since, yeah, for a while. So 2018. But yeah, I started full time this year. I was laid off in February. We had everyone reporting back to the office in Orlando. The traffic here is not great, and that commute would have been about an hour and a half each way, if I was lucky. So, of course, there was no pay raise or anything. I could, there was no way I was going to do that. Doing 18 hours extra, just commute, no pay. Now I have gas, mileage, tolls, too much. So, I rolled the dice. I said, you know what? I have these apps. Let me double check. Let me make sure I'm still active.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it part time. So I was still active on Uber Eats, and I was still active on DoorDash. So I had some wait lists that I got on right away, and yeah, I just went with it. The experience I had was really like almost like a new Dasher when I started doing it full time, because it's completely different when you do it full time.
Oh, yeah.
As a side hustle, it's a completely different beast. It's the same thing, but it's not. So it was kind of learning again, and just seeing through DoorDash's manipulation, their gaslighting techniques, the things that they would mention on an order, or the red flags that you would see. Um, and just realizing, hey, I have to do what's best for me. I'm not taking this $5 13-mile offer and then 13 miles back to my zone, just to stay platinum, to receive catering offers that never ever came my way.
Yeah.
So I learned the
Well,
hard way as
there
well.
was an LOP. There was a catering program. You remember? I mean, there really was, because that's, to be honest, that's what launched. That's what made. There are more catering companies in the United States than food delivery platforms by about 5 times. So that's what made those catering apps start. They didn't just dream it up. They knew, I mean, just like everybody, they knew Uber Eats has their share and DoorDash has
Hmm.
their share of the market. And they knew DoorDash had stepped into the LOP and into this game, catering. But then they saw how bad it was. It was being run like any other DoorDash. You know what I mean? There's no credentials. Dude like lives in his car. He's shoving food in it. People see this, whatever it might be that ticks the average person off about just a dasher. Now you're having him like cater things. That's not a catering app. Catering apps require
Yeah.
bags and this and I do a lot of catering, so I know.
It's like a
You
level of
know,
service. It's a higher standard of service when it comes to catering. I feel like, especially with the amount of money that's being spent, there's a different level of expectation that DoorDash is not willing. Those apps are not willing to provide.
oh, absolutely, and that's, yeah. I mean, that's also, like, of all the things that DoorDash does, all the people listening after the fact on the replay, on the podcast, whatever, you guys all know how I feel. I mean, like, none of these stats should be used, but of all things, if you're going to have that catering program, I already hate your app because of so many illegal things you do. I've pointed out, I mean, 50 probably. laws they're breaking. And so, like, of all the things though, like, you didn't even try and like make that a concern. Like, catering, let's have the top 10% dashers do the catering. Let's offer it to them. I mean, a couple people here on YouTube showed us how to just make a simple call, and this was back in the day. Hey, I want to be on the LLP. Okay. They literally, even the people, the initial first line people at DoorDash were activating your LLP for calling and asking.
But see, that's the thing that is so bad shit crazy about it, is that the amount of money that these companies could make if they actually did it the right way. They wouldn't have to steal from the drivers. They wouldn't have to steal from the customers. It's
Yeah.
just the apps are so inefficient. It's just sending drivers, 10 miles to a store that's literally right next door to the customer. Just little things like that all add up to costs and expenses that they make up by taking driver pay and hiking up fees for these customers. And it's just that simple, that if they just did things the right way, they would make money the right way and actually be profitable without having to be nefarious.
Yeah. No, I know. And I mean, yeah, it's like, it's even, I'm not going to sell the farm, but like, it's even about like, hey, it's even about glitches if you have an Android. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
just
Well,
the fact that they can't control anything, dude. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. iPhone as well.
I mean, well, right. But so so I was with Gary Middleton's in here. His apps are rolling beneath, but I was with Para from the beginning, and I know exactly what was going on. I know that they had more people coding against us than they did on to develop the app. So, I mean, that's really sad though. And it's, I'm
You
not
can't
talking
make
about
this up.
security. It wasn't about, oh gosh, these people figured out how to attach to an API, because that's one guy, or even then some AI, whatever, to get on that. But it wasn't about that. It was about, okay, keep them off. But also, like, it's almost like I thought of it like the deceive department. Like, more than half of the coders are there, and their objective is not to keep the app running, but to find new and crazy ways to scam people, and not show full transparency, and not be upfront, and not be transparent. And for a long time, you've been with the company a long time, or you've been dashing for a long time as a contractor. And I'll say for a long time, they just kept getting away with this, that, and the other. But once the investors got turned on to some of this stuff, that was a game changer, because the investors have kind of, they've been kept in the dark. They're always told, like, autonomous cars next year, next year, next year. Okay, so DoorDash starts running some autonomous stuff. And I'm not talking about the dots or the trash can robots or the coolers. I'm talking about, like, they're running Waymos, $500,000 cars doing what, the $2 no tip orders? Are you kidding me? Like, you guys are never going to sell the public on what they're doing is mapping. That's not about the DoorDash delivery. And it never was. It's about them looking like tech, because in this last quarter, we just saw last week, they fell 30% of their value. And then, Tony Hsu's telling them, hey, next year, don't expect any money either, because we're putting in hundreds of millions into new tech. I even said this recently. I get it, because right now, why wouldn't you? If you don't do that, DoorDash, and people will believe this or not, DoorDash will be dead in a few years. No joke. It can't just be delivery. It can't,
It
or food
can't.
delivery. I mean, it's tried grocery, it's tried this, and it's got some other things it might try, but really, I mean, it bought a dying company in Europe. That's just a foothold. I mean, all these are just to gain. It's like a game of Risk. I want more of the
Yeah.
board.
They're trying to gain leverage here and there, and it's just I think they're just focusing on, like you said, on everything but what should be
Yeah.
focused on. What could be controlled now, instead of these hopes and dreams that these robots are going to save the day for them. You don't even want to pay the driver who's using their own car and vehicle and has their own expenses, but you're going to take on all the maintenance for this.
Exactly.
What are the
Exactly.
fees? What are the customer fees going to be? Like 30, $40 per per offer, like order. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
And
Even
to your testament, that is like when they initially roll them out, I think they try and not have it be any different. But like when Waymo rolled out on the rideshare side, it rolled out and it said, oh, they're the same price. Well, now a Waymo is pretty much in the cities it operates in. First of all, it's not legal. All of the listeners on this podcast know that those cars are not legal, and they are self-insured by Waymo. That's how you know they're not legal. So certain politicians have allowed us like certain amounts of briefcases of money to allow them to test in your city. That's all it is. And then when you break down the percentage, there's barely any. But for a while, those rides were the same price as if I did it in an X or something. Now it's like 2.5 times more for a Waymo ride.
oh yeah,
So I mean,
they're not
like,
gonna
and even that's not making them money. They'd have to charge 100 times to try and even make a
exactly.
dime.
Exactly. It's just not going to work either way. It's not going to be profitable. The whole thing is just not going to be profitable unless they start focusing on being a luxury app, which is what they're supposed to be, and not catering to the customers who no tip and can't afford the service and cost them money and cost them good customers because now they're taking the customers that tip and uh, are great to us drivers. Now we have to take another order with them, and sometimes that no tip order is before them. Sometimes they get their food after. It's just not, the whole thing all around is just so bogus, and
Oh, it
so many
is.
things can so many things can be done in the now. Simple, basic common sense things that just it gets overlooked. Like it's just let's do everything but.
So I just have to point. Sometimes I don't point out all the comments, and I get called out for this. But what up, everybody in the chat? But I just got to point out Brian's. He's over in Pittsburgh, and he's saying just have the food. You know what the cost of that would be, bro? They go set up one place for the day, the food trucks, and he knows. But I know it's a joke, but I just can't help it because, dude, there's no way, man. Like, I mean, like, first of all, I don't even know, like, we have a ton of food trucks and they're just not on any app. There should be an app in certain cities that is food truck delivery only.
That would be
Don't
pretty
steal
cool.
my
That would be
idea,
pretty cool.
people.
It's like I like that. I like that. It's just I think, but even with just like you said, the food delivery, I don't know where's that going to be. It can't be profitable when you're
Well, no,
ordering
it can't.
a small fries and a soda. Like there's not enough money in there to split up all these ways. And
No, and we've tried, and now we can finally talk about all the outcomes that we've seen in other markets. Like I point out Seattle a lot. On the Seattle rideshare side, they did a little better, but that pay up legislation hurt them a lot. I mean, and the proof is in the beginning, you were hearing that normal rhetoric about, well, the Dashers aren't making as much, and there's not as many orders to go around, and there was the $5 Seattle City Council fee that they wanted from every order. Well, DoorDash and Uber Eats just added it to the line fee and called it that. Seattle, and they just added another $5. So, I mean, like everything just got more and more and more. There's a place there that does kebabs. So we already knew the Dashers were getting crushed by this, but then there's a place there that does, like, this is an example. There's 3 of these restaurants in Seattle, very well known. They do these kebabs for, I think it's $7.75. Last I knew, DoorDash, that's how much each one is. DoorDash, last I knew, was charging $19.50 per kebab, plus all them the fees. It's 220% of the cost per item before you even start adding in delivery fee, mystery fee, Seattle City Council fee, this fee, that fee. Oh, taxes. Why do the taxes look 3 times as much? Don't worry about that. Just pay it. I guess my point is everybody thought, okay, well, in the big picture, a lot of people think, and I hate to say this, who cares about the Dasher? Well, now it's who cares about the customer? Who cares about the restaurant partners? Because the restaurant partners are down $50+ million this year in Seattle. The dashers are down to like 20-25% of them being able to hustle. The customers are paying approximately 250 to 300% more year to year. So I guess my point is, when it was already overpriced a year ago, I mean, look, there are some people better off than others. I happen to struggle. I raised a son on my own and he's off at college now, but that doesn't make it much cheaper. But, like who is in any position to be spending 300% of what you could pick? I understand the convenience, but who's in any position to be doing that? Even the rich don't want to do that anymore.
And you just see these companies are literally just sucking the life out of the three phases that you said: the customer, the driver, and the restaurant. I think we kind of miss the restaurant sometimes. I know, at least I do, where I don't talk enough about the restaurant suffering, from
Yeah.
DoorDash's greed and everything. So it's a trifecta of just DoorDash taking, and it's literally the only way they can be profitable. The way the business model is, it's just, there's no other way they can be profitable without, charging this much for the restaurant to the restaurants. And the thing is, if it was a level of service that deserved those fees, then I could understand. But DoorDash doesn't do that. They don't provide that service that they charge
Fees,
for.
yes,
Yeah.
but not menu markups.
No.
I gotta say, listen, like that alone to me has always shown how scamming they are, because even their fees that look high when you look at it are ridiculously high alone. But you're not even, the common person isn't even noticing. Now they might, but they don't notice the price increase on items.
I had to show my girlfriend that, hey, look, you think you're ordering through the website, but you're ordering through through DoorDash, and look at the fees. Look how much you're paying. And then I showed her the actual website, and you're looking at $1.50 more for this dish, $2 more for this dish. And literally, there's so many people that do that. They just go on, they see, oh, let's look at the restaurant. Let me see. It takes you to an ordering platform, but it's a third party. They're always upcharging. And let's not talk about what they do with those groceries. Holy cow. I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
about $100 order costs 140 before you're at tip. So
I'm also a fairly smart person, and I got to tell you, when I look at the stats, first of all, the whole metrics need to go. It's all a lie, and there are solutions to that would actually benefit the company too, because data is getting to cost quite a bit, and there are some solutions to this. But these companies, if they can't maintain the delivery drivers, or they can't maintain the delivery customers, if they're pissing off I read, so the 13 minutes that I do over here every week, and I take it over to TikTok too, but this week I was talking about another lawsuit. So 2017 to 2019, tips were stolen by DoorDash in every market they operated, including Orlando, yours. I don't know why you guys haven't sued yet. Florida needs to sue. Illinois sued. New York sued. Any state that sued didn't even walk into court. Wasn't even a debate. They just paid the amount, DoorDash, because the same program was out in every market. So the only thing I can come up with, because I talk to politicians and lawmakers, so the only thing I can come up with is that some are just tallying to rake this as high as they can, because now there's another batch from 2020 to 2023 being looked at and investigated. There's a RICO going on in Henderson, Nevada against Uber Eats, but that would involve DoorDash and Grubhub. And then out of nowhere last Friday, and I've known some of these are coming, this, I'll pull it up just to mention it here, because this is what I was talking about on 13 this week. And I had somebody say a very weird comment to me. So DoorDash has to pay another $18 million to the city of Chicago. And this was from Friday. So, and it's because that, and the last time it was stealing tips. So this time, DoorDash violated city regulations by listing restaurants on its platform without their consent, according to the complaint. We've known this has happened. And here on YouTube, I had a comment from somebody who comments on these on videos once in a while, and they said there's no law against DoorDash selling. I mean, anybody can walk into a restaurant and buy stuff. Why can't they do it? Dude, there's every law against it. Are you kidding me? I can't walk into a pizza place, buy all their slices, walk outside and sell them for twice as much.
That's like food piracy.
Yeah, like, are you kidding me, dude? You can't start a black. First of all, and that's the whole thing. It's called the DoorDash Partnership Program. You're not a partner until you make a partnership.
Exactly.
And literally,
to be a partner.
and literally go back to the start of this thing that they're looking at and suing them for. This was, I mean, clearly, the other part is that they're upcharging your items and then adding a service fee on. So it's not like they're saying we can pick up your food from DoorDash for you. You call in the order. We got this guy that'll go and he'll do it, and you pay him $20 or $10. It's not like that. Their excuse is like, well, you know, why wouldn't they want to sell more food? And to that, I can say a lot of things. Of course, businesses want to make. I ran bars and restaurants for 20 years. I can tell you this: that a lot of time you walk into a weekend, you have a couple games if you're near a stadium, or I'm in a big city. So we had the Rockies right across the street. So baseball, 82 games a year, home games. So I knew to stock up on things. That's for home games. What if a catering order comes in on a Friday? I could be without burgers for the weekend. Like it's just, I mean, we're not all millionaires. We don't all have access to 7-day-a-week delivery, which doesn't exist unless you go out and get it yourself. And you're not supposed to do that when you own these establishments. You have to go through Cisco and Shamrock and other restaurateur reps, and that's how you bring in your items. So there is no way around that. So I can't start Steve's delivery app, charge 25% more on every item, and then a $7 delivery charge, and then a bunch of taxes and fees, pay a driver $5, and I just keep all the rest. That's not how it works.
I was going to say it. And all of that, none of it goes to the driver.
I mean, I just thought this was funny though, because again, here we go. And, you know, like I was like, wait, which lawsuit is this? Because this is now the third, about to be the fourth soon. So yeah, people are panicked over at DoorDash. Delivery's down. And I hate it when people just can't see that it is, you know, and part of it's down because it's 300% as much. And people are struggling already to begin with. So maybe once things are better in the economy, do people come back? Maybe. And everybody says yes, but I kind of say they're going to have to do something, because they're not going to come back to 300%.
No. And they're not going to come back to piss poor service either. You're paying for something. You're expecting something if you're going to pay that level of money, and the customers just don't get it. It's not right. And then they put the driver in the position where we have to affect our stats if we want to cancel this no tip order that's attached to a good customer. It's just like damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's just the way it's set up. And like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. Absolutely not.
No. In fact, you know, for years, DoorDash did its own security. I've had the CEO of Incognia on before, and he was approaching these companies to try and be their security. And if you know, a lot of people saw that interview, but if you didn't, Andre Ferez, the CEO of Incognia, worldwide, they do represent DoorDash. They do represent Uber, but those aren't even in their top 50 accounts. They represent banks. Like when he was on, he was talking about a Brazilian bank that almost had, like, you know, $6 million stolen from it in real time when they caught it in Incognia. So he was brought in about a year ago to some of these apps. And when he came on, I want to have him back. And I think it would be very great if he would come back, because he left it at a point of, we're just about to take on these accounts. Now I want to talk to him because, they're in over 500 million devices worldwide. Like, they're in yours, they're in mine. Anybody with a gig app, they're in your thing. But he went back and reported to the company. And this is at a time, and I don't know, I'm guessing Orlando was pretty bad with this, at least somewhat, maybe last year, mostly last year for me too, but illegal accounts of both kinds. People who weren't supposed to be here getting them, but then people who got deactivated and buying them off Facebook. And we had a plethora of people everywhere that weren't supposed to be operating multiple phones, all this crap. Now that's kind of been brought to an end, and I think that people have stopped buying off Facebook Marketplace a little bit. But Incognito reported back to DoorDash and said, listen, if you were to take the 10% of your bad actors, and by that, if you watch the interview, you'll see what I'm talking about. He explains bad actors and that DoorDash knows they exist. Not only that, he's able to, through the device tracking, tell them which ones it is. It's this guy, it's this guy. If they were to just, he told them if they were to stop the bottom 10% of the bad actors, which some of them, I said, you mean like the people we were talking about? I said like the people that have 10 phones stacked in a restaurant and are standing there and they're juggling their phones. They're just taking whatever. And he goes, little deeper. He goes, each of those phones could have 100 accounts on it. So you could have 1,000 accounts in those 10. I couldn't even fathom it. I don't really understand how you could do that, but somehow it's able. And he said that he went back and reported, listen, take the 10% of your worst actors, the worst 10% on the platform. Most of them could be identified out of the platform, and you will double your revenue in 1 quarter. That's what he told them in a report. And they still decided not to. Now, everybody has to remember the bad actors are the ones that take $2 no tip orders.
Exactly. It's like, it was like what I just said, where they want to make money the wrong way instead of doing it the right way, where they can get rid of those bad actors. Like you say, they can recoup all that money and maybe pay the drivers a little bit more instead of having to. Just doesn't make sense.
And then, on top of everything else, and I know a lot of your videos go in this direction. So, but like on top of this, like this Olivia Henderson story, I'm sure you followed it. I was just waiting for her to get arrested. And
it was a matter of time. Yeah.
But people need to know she's not the only one. There's other people looking for TikTok fame through any means. Yes. But there's people really who push this limit. I see videos a lot where I'm like, you shouldn't do that. Like I'm saying that as they're doing something, like they're doing live stream of some. I'm like, don't do that, dude. And you just broke into their house or whatever. And it goes unnoticed. This one was pretty deliberate. And I get these weird comments, like why I had a comment on it and it had a lot of likes on it, which blew me away. Cause it said, why, I'm glad she was finally arrested, but why wasn't the man arrested too? And then a bunch of likes. And I was like, cause he didn't do anything.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What's your take on the story? Because
first I read an article where the Ring camera footage was looked at, and she opened the door. There was, it was slightly ajar, and she pushed it open. So that's it. There's nothing else to talk about. It didn't say hand it to me. It said leave at door. She could have dropped it, taken the picture, and moved on. But like you said, trying to get that money, trying to get those likes. I think the video got close to 20 million views before they took it down, and they didn't pay it out. So now it's like, not only did she not get that money, but now I think the guy
that
is
money
going
wasn't going to help her anyway now, because she got 2 4-year sentences.
Oh yeah.
Or she's like, I don't know what she'll actually do. But she's going to get 8 years. She'll probably do 3 with a good behavior type thing. But for a woman like that, that's a lot. That's a lot of years.
You got to make an example, because this is a very slippery slope. You don't want this to start becoming a trend. It's, you got to make a statement, and it's the way to do it. You got to be held accountable. And I know this guy is definitely going to get paid. I think it's just a matter of time before that lawsuit gets going. Because
any better, to be honest. I mean, we had a roundtable a few weeks ago, and Matt Dasher was on that one. He goes, that guy's life is wrecked, just wrecked. He is the DoorDash naked guy now for life. It just sucks. And I'm like,
I mean, it's really, I guess it's perspective, because wrecked. A couple million can make me not wrecked. That's just me, though. That's me, you know?
That's what the company counts on. So I mean, and I guess in his case, of course, take it because the other options get nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Might
Yeah, I
as
mean,
well.
so
I
like
mean,
everybody knows me. I will fight for every cause, but when there's a dead end to the cause and you have an option for money, don't just turn down the money. You got to
no,
take
no.
it.
You got to
I
go for
mean,
it, and it was
yeah.
just meant to be. I guess that's his lotto ticket. Someone's piss poor decision became his lotto ticket. So, I don't want to put my I guess my perspective and my ways on him. So I don't know if he's like embarrassed or going through anything. So, I don't want to go out and say, yeah, the money's going to make it all better. But yeah, it's just a way for her to pay and for him to get compensated. It's unfortunate that it's not DoorDash really didn't do anything wrong here. The one
You
time they
know
don't do
what
anything
though?
wrong.
You know what though? You look at these stories like the one from Milwaukee with the person that followed the Dasher home, and then DoorDash is
Yeah.
getting off the hook on that one. I keep sitting there. I'm sitting there pulling my hair out. I've even talked with lawyers. We're all pulling our hair out, going, "Hey, why aren't you suing DoorDash too?" This is one of those examples where
Yeah.
the lady would have never known where she was if it wasn't for the damn app.
That's it. Yeah, that's true.
The
That's
customer
true.
found the driver through the app. I mean,
I couldn't believe it.
that makes I'm sorry, but that makes the there's a level where the platform's at fault. You can call us
I
independent contractors, but
Yeah, yeah, and it puts your safety at risk at that point, and it shouldn't be that way. But I mean, even that
no.
story, even to this day, like that story just looked so wild. It almost was just like AI to me.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like, I'm like, you really,
Especially like if you read what was said, like what like she's like, yeah, she's outside the
yes,
apartment yelling about chicken wings, a 10 pack of them, no
yes.
less.
It
Like
was just
10 chicken wings. I'm like going, Jesus, this
you
isn't worth
couldn't write a
anything. And both you
script.
guys have nice cars. What are you doing?
You couldn't write a script better than that. I was cracking up.
But then I
But it's
also
never,
saw I
never a
saw I
dull
saw a
day.
video before we go any further. I do want to say this because I saw a video of yours that was talking about why are they sending me to, let's call it McDonald's for a minute because I know how this one works. But why are they sending me to this McDonald's when the customer's here and half a mile from the customer is a McDonald's, and I'm a half mile from the customer and the McDonald's in a triangle, but they want to send you 5 miles out that way. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, maybe the customer has it set wrong. It will show up as that setting. However, most people aren't familiar. So I love exposing this. It's been a minute since I've done it, especially the biggest. So McDonald's is the perfect example because they do this. McDonald's has a par level. Like here in Denver, there's like 1,000 McDonald's, right? They have a par level every month on DoorDash to get it for free, and to get the deals they get, they have to do X amount at every store. So like this McDonald's near me is very busy all the time. They've sent me all the way out to the airport to pick up an order because they need to hit that par over there, but then bring it back to a customer who lives across the street from the McDonald's right here.
And it's
So I'm
interesting
driving
because
15 miles instead of 2. And these
exactly,
people get confused. So I always like putting it out there when I can that, guys, that's just how it works. It's
and
not
it's not
it's
like
not a
the pay
system
is
flaw.
better.
It's to make sure that everyone has their 10,000 orders at each store. That's
And
all.
that makes sense because around I have three McDonald's literally within like 2 miles of each other, and it's almost like a rotation where the
Yeah.
offers come from. Like in the morning, it starts, one of them. Towards the afternoon, it starts coming from another one, and then it starts coming from the other one, and it's almost like clockwork every day.
Yeah.
I saw the same thing on Instacart where they're sending uh, to a Publix that's literally 15 miles the opposite way of where the customer was, making this literally a 25-mile trip. There was 23 Publix locations that would have been a better choice than the one they chose. So it's just like I don't know if Instacart has that same kind of thing with the
I
quota with
I,
the par,
I
but
hate Instacart with a passion because of the bots. And I'm sure you've seen my videos, dude. I don't know if you've like any
yes.
videos I do on Instacart. I always put in the comments, hey, post your legal bot grabbers below. And they do. Like you and I know if you even say Instacart, they're going to post it into the comments.
Oh my goodness.
But
I'll
I'm
talk
like,
about
but I
something
even
else.
say it. I'm like, please post your illegal bot grabbers below. And they just start posting them left and right.
Yep. You mention anything with gig work or delivery.
I know, but I'm telling them, put your illegal stuff here. And they do. I'm like, this is such a joke, dude.
It really is. It really is.
Because I've said this to other people. I say this doesn't happen on YouTube. And people have said, yeah, it does. I still stand by, no, it doesn't. I don't ever see them. But if I say Instacart on Twitter, and I know a lot of people know I do harass Instacart on Twitter all the time. When they make a post, they make a couple posts a week, they get like 5 likes. And this has like a 500,000 followers. I always take whatever they posted because it's like something about like eat carrots today. And I always turn it into something about bodily parts and where to put that carrot. And they still to this day haven't blocked me. It's amazing, dude. Like I just go in there and taunt them every time they tweet. I'm like, you suck, and here's why. And they don't do anything about it.
You're probably the only one helping them push things out in the algorithm, so they kind of need you.
They're like,
with their 5 likes.
But if you had to, so I know you've done Spark too, right?
Not yet. I got off. Well, I thought I got off the wait list. They got all my paperwork processed and everything, passed the background check and everything, and then I was put back on the wait list. So I'm hoping that with the holidays coming around, something's going to open up. Fingers crossed. That would be a nice addition to the arsenal.
Yeah. But you've done Instacart, DoorDash, and I know you're doing Flex now. Have you done any others?
Uber Eats. I've done one order from Roadie. I've had it for 7 months. So
Roadie can be tough, man. I gave up on it. I've been on it for years. I didn't do any for like a year. Now I've piecemealed, and again, it goes back to what you say. I hate that app. It sucks.
Yeah.
Never using it again. But then like I had trouble with another app. I went back on it after not being on it for a year, and I saw some decent, there were like some floral ones that made sense to me. There were some new Home Depot locker ones that were just small objects where I'm like, okay, I can do these, is the miles, everything's making sense. Not on everything. It still sucks, but I've always said like, I admire any app that is fully transparent without metrics that hurt you, that lets you get on it forever. There's no acceptance rate or anything. They don't care if you don't take them. Because at that point, if you're showing me everything and you're being honest and it pays a penny every offer, but there's no harm, no foul, I would still stay on that app, hoping that a good order comes in.
Yeah, because you're not going to get taken advantage of. You see it and it's up to you. You're the one who says yes or no.
And that's how I view Roadie. I think Roadie's great about details. It tells you when tolls are going to be included. It tells you all the large, medium, what you're picking up, dimensions. It might be wrong. Sometimes I get that, but they're upfront. They're honest. I mean, again, and the penny thing isn't too far off from a joke. I mean, they don't pay well. That's why we don't take them. But at the same time, they're doing what every app should be doing, just being honest. Don't have a department in DoorDash of many people hiding and deceiving the public. When you put a plus sign after it, just tell people what you have it. You have all the information. We at Para were showing it to you. Bloop, 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 bloop. So everybody could just see the full information, take the ones they wanted. That was the whole thing they got pissed about. But so they have it. Now they hire extra people to hide it. If you know the full amount and you're a dispatch platform and you're doing nothing more than letting independent contractors grab orders, by law, you have to show them every detail you have, especially everyone you have. There could even be potential for you need to get these details from your customers because a contractor needs that to make an informed decision. But I'm not even trying to take it that far. I'm just saying whatever details you're putting out there, they shouldn't be, it might be 5 miles. It might be $10. There might be a guy there. There might not.
Yeah, this whole plus thing, it just makes no sense to me. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no, what are you hiding? Are you, to me, that just shows that they're doing something behind the scenes that, what are they taking from it? What are they removing? What was the original offer? there's no reason for them to hide what it is. Is it like a performance base? Like, oh, you can get the rest of this tip if you do a good job or if you get it delivered in a certain time. Like, no, it's not. It's literally just that's the offer, and you're just hiding part of
Yeah.
the earnings. And now I have to make a guess. Oh, is this plus going to be $15 or is it going to be 5 cents? Um, and
I mean,
that's
in all honesty, these days, how often is it more than $2? The hidden,
not often. Not often. I've
like
seen I've seen
out
other
of a
people have
hundred,
some
out
good
of a hundred,
ones,
one,
but it's rare. It's rare.
five,
Yeah,
what?
it's very
Because I don't,
rare, and
I'd be of the opinion it's less than five out of every 100.
yeah, and that's why I always say that, the whole platinum with the high AR platinum, um, just didn't make any sense when it came to getting those good offers because you wouldn't there weren't enough of them, and you would be so busy doing these rinky dink offers trying to stay above 70% that you're occupied. So those offers are going to pass you by and go down to the people that are available. The whole thing is just a mind game, and it's just a scam, a blatant scam that, I'm trying to scream to the world like, hey guys, like look over here, they're screwing you over. And,
Yeah.
just so many people just refuse to,
And I
open their
know
eyes and
that, dude, I
realize.
know on TikTok enough people watch you, and those are what your videos say. That's your message. I've seen it. Like you're telling them, dude, this kind of crap, if you see this, it's BS, and here's the reality, and don't do it.
Yeah,
Or you're giving
this
that
is
right
what's
advice.
happening.
And I know that I see the people I see on my videos, and this I'm telling the audience this, that nobody tags other people like they might on YouTube anyway, on my channel on TikTok. However, Dave gets tagged a lot. People will tag Dave, hey, like just his name, meaning you should watch this.
Yeah, yeah,
Like one guy
yep.
did it today with my 13, and I was like, well, he's going to be on the podcast today. Just come watch it. So,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's just, I don't like seeing people taken advantage of, and it's enough is enough. We're so many people out there are just trying to make it. I know I'm one of them. You're one of them.
yeah.
I got my soon to be 6 year old son that I support, and I'm trying to give a good life to. And seeing these games and how they take advantage of hardworking people that are busting their butts to do the best for their families, to put themselves in better situations, it truly, like, it really does break my heart because
Yeah.
it just the level, every corporation is going to have a level of greed. That's just how it is. That's America.
Right.
But
Right.
just the level of greed that comes with these gig apps and how they truly take advantage of the labor force. I want to do my part, um, especially with newer dashers, to let them know, hey, don't fall for the shit that I did. All right,
But those are,
I
unfortunately, those are the people who fall for it every time. And
yes,
I would even
it's all
gather, and
planned though.
I was an
That's
independent contractor since the 90s. So when the gig apps came around, a little bit different for me because I knew what should happen. And in the beginning, rideshare was paying so well, I didn't really care. I actually had a split. I was doing okay. I started to see the metrics and all of this get introduced, and I was like, wait a minute, this breaks law because I do production work too. So I was like, this breaks laws if you're going to call them independent contractors. Either they're misclassified or you need to start doing something right. And yeah, I mean, these apps, they all just have their different ways. But out of the apps you're in right now, what would the order be that you'd put them in? Like that, I guess, which out of the four you've done, which order would you put them in for the app you like doing the most? Let's say they all paid the same. So out of the four
oof.
apps, what would be the order? If you were going to make $30 an hour, and that could be high, could be low, I don't know. But let's say you're going to make $30 an hour regardless, how would those apps fall?
I think I would say Amazon Flex
At the
would
top.
probably be at the top, number one. I would have to put Instacart number two, just because I'm more fond of the grocery shopping. That's what I do with Doordash. Um, most of the time anyway with Pro Shopper, so I'm getting a lot of the grocery orders. So for that reason, I would put Instacart number 2 and then DoorDash number 3. Um, you have the good and bad with support with Instacart, and then DoorDash just being a pain in the butt. But um, I think that's the order I think I would put it in. I feel like with Amazon
And
Flex, I
then
just feel
Uber
like,
Eats and Roadie.
yeah, Uber Eats is, I don't really get enough. I don't get enough from Uber Eats to really even consider it. Even if I got 30 an hour from Uber Eats, I wouldn't know enough. I wouldn't know uh, how the experience would be with Uber Eats in my area. So,
So for the
yeah,
last 4 weeks,
Roadie
I'm
last.
the same way. I'm not. I'd rather do Uber Eats, even though I'm not. I'm not fond. I'm not in love with theirs either. But I'd rather do it because I just hate DoorDash, and I've dealt with DoorDash pretty directly. I hate them. There's a reason why they did not invite me to the round table they just had. Trust me. But
It's like,
yeah, but Uber Eats lately here the last 4 weeks in a row, and I think it has something to do with taking advantage of a bad situation DoorDash is in. Is they for the first, so you can do 6-10 batches a week, and every week it's like just this week, and then it's for the last 4 weeks it just keeps going. That every 10 you do, you get $50. You can do 6 blocks a week, so 60 orders, you get an extra 5 on every order.
yeah,
That's a
and that's
game changer in my market.
I'm not seeing, and that's the thing with these DoorDash promotions. I don't, they're non-existent. You get I think I've only seen the
No, that's an
plus
Uber
one
Eats
dot.
one.
Oh yeah, well with Uber Eats,
Yeah.
the surges, the rideshare surges with Uber Eats are
Well,
insane in my
I mean,
area.
this is
Sometimes with Fridays and Saturdays, it's like plus 20, plus 15. I'm like, this is crazy. You don't see that on DoorDash. I think the highest
no.
I've
These are
seen is
just
like,
for Uber Eats though. $5 on every order every week for the last 4 weeks, and I got it again this week. I think they're going to run it
yeah.
through the holidays. It's in other markets too. It's in
And
Boston. It's in a bunch of big cities, and
Instacart has those kind of promos too. I just did one, where you do a certain amount of batches, you get guaranteed pay. So yeah, I think it's a lot of, because DoorDash really, their only hope, I think, is, in my opinion, is the grocery shopping. They're trying to get into that and trying to take some of Instacart's, clientele there. But if Instacart starts offering, better with their batches, if it's low pay, you'll start seeing it get hiked up, $1, $2, $3, so it's starting to get up there where, okay, now this is not looking too bad, even if it's, a low tip, they're paying for it.
sure.
Um, DoorDash doesn't do that. They play games with your order. They'll send it around and let people reject it. Oh, we'll raise it 25 cents. Let's send it right back around. Oh, platinum drivers with high AR, guess what? You're going to have to decline it again. Ha ha ha. Joke's on you.
Yeah.
Um,
So do you believe in the program, the tier program? Not
absolutely,
should it be not be eliminated? Because I think we all agree it should be eliminated. But do you believe it plays a difference?
absolutely not. It's
I mean, to the quality
simply
of orders, because I heard you say that the same thing I hear from a lot of people who do
the
defend it,
opposite.
which is, yeah, I'll see some better offers, but they bombard me with more crap than they're bombarding you with. So it's taking my AR down. They're constantly keeping me at that line. And I tend to object and say, the only thing I might agree with is maybe you're seeing a couple extra orders in some markets, like in ours with transparency. I can tell you it doesn't matter anymore. And anybody that knows. I couldn't dash now for the last 2 years. I'm a bottom feeder. I'm a 0 to 10% acceptance rate. I all since para, boom, never have done this the way they want me to. And all of a sudden the transparency law hit and I can dash now. I could dash now right now. I could dash now on Friday. I can dash now anytime. I don't have to schedule anything a week out. I can, but
That's
I can dash it shows the entire city, which is like 17 DoorDash zones of Denver. It shows it all red all the time, hot red. Whereas for 2 years, the last 2 years where there was more volume, it never showed it pink or red. Even on the weekends, it had died off. Now it's just red all the time, just says dash now, because really they're to that point, back to the original game of look at, just have as many drivers out there, and the closest to the pin gets it.
That's it.
And
That's
as
it.
much as I hate to say it, the system doesn't work, period. But that, I challenge people all the time. That is the best system we have. Closest to the
Yeah,
pin gets it. I
that's
mean,
it. That's it.
this,
And it's better
all
for
these
them
other
too.
things don't matter. And you're
No, they
gonna
don't.
kill yourself. And I tell some people who've been doing this a long time, I'm like, you gotta watch your psyche too, because these apps will
Oh yeah,
literally
they'll
take
wear
you to
you down.
places where you're like, dude, I think I'm going crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, getting back to that platinum thing, you have to. These drivers have to ask themselves, like, you get that great offer at Platinum, right? But how many bad offers did you lose money to get that one offer? You have to start seeing like that one offer is not worth the 10 bad ones that you needed to be Platinum. And you're lucky that you weren't on one of those bad offers, because you would have never gotten that good one, because it would have went to someone, like I say, who is available. You do get more offers as platinum, as gold, like I'm starting to see with this new offer boost. But they're bad offers, because the whole point of it is to sabotage you and bring you down and bring you down and have you start taking those bad offers to get you back up.
Wait, what
Um,
is the offer boost? I gotta know.
so there's a new offer boost. So now Dash Now was opened in my market 11.5 to everyone.
Right.
So
A lot of
now
markets. Yeah.
with the tier system, now it's not the 70% AR for platinum. It's all the metrics, the quality rate. I have the amount of deliveries you do in 30 days, customer rating, cancellation rate, and AR. Are they're all portions, so you can have like a 20% AR and still be platinum.
Yeah.
Um, so you do get a ton of more offers. I've been platinum, I've been gold, I've been silver. So at silver, it's a long wait in between. But it doesn't matter, because at platinum and gold, the offers I was getting were all garbage. Decline, 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 decline. So that offer boost is just, yeah, we're going to give you offers. We never said they were good offers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they just have you, declining, declining. And, it became the same thing where, the lower AR that I had, like silver, I was seeing the better offers. It wasn't as frequent. Like I wasn't getting, these bad offers back to back to back to back, but I would get a good offer there. Boom. Like and do that. It's just all a game. It really is all a game. And it just
It
has you
is.
it has these newer drivers, or drivers that don't know any better, chasing their tail. And as they're doing that, the company's making more and more and more, more and more and more. And
Right.
times that by the millions of drivers out there, it's crazy.
But do you think in your market, and like I said, I mean, Dave had a video on this. I've had a video on this about the markets. And I want to wrap with this, because the Dash Now feature went live in 5 markets, I think a couple weeks ago, around that 11.5. Now I know about another 10 markets that went in. So it's like everything else with DoorDash. If you don't have it yet, guys, you probably will. I mean, they can get a little farther and pull the plug on it. But I have honestly been saying I don't think they will on this one. I think everybody's going to
No,
have Dash Now by after Thanksgiving, or near
100%.
it, because they're fighting Uber. Given, like, I know some people say I don't have that in my market yet, but I had 2 people this week who have been saying I don't have that in my market. I don't have that in my market, and then they said, "Oh, I got that for the first time in my market this week." The $5 bonus. Uber sees that. They're like, put $5 on every order. That's just another
Cause
sweep of the legs of DoorDash, because drivers will do that and go, and some people say what you've said. Even in a big city, you're in Orlando, I'm in Denver. Like, I don't see enough Uber Eats orders. I probably wouldn't get 10 in a week. So I'm not in my market. Uber Eats booms. I think it's just turn it on, it's like it's an old car. Let it rev up for a
hmm
while.
yeah.
If you've been leaving
Say
it off, maybe turn it on, try some. Once you
that's
do
it.
one,
Yep. Let the
maybe it gives you
algorithm
2
warm
more
up
and
to
it
you.
starts. Yeah. Because once it knows you're working, and with that bonus, I mean, that's another sweep out from under them. But all of you guys who don't have the people that have the Dash Now, and I'm going to ask you the same question, is, do you think, it's kind of a little early to tell. I get it. I've had the Dash Now feature since January of this year. since the law went into place about transparency. But do you think that more Dashers are out? Do you think that that makes people abandon the program, as they should? Because the only excuse I'd ever heard until then was I keep my platinum or whatever status just for the Dash Now ability.
No, because the program now is stating that if you reach platinum and gold, you're going to get more offers. So what they're doing with the Dash Now is just complete oversaturation of the market, and they're causing desperation with these
Right.
drivers because now everyone is out. So the offers are not getting, there's not more offers out there to give out in certain
Right.
times. So, I mean, everyone is out. The desperation is up. So that's how they're getting these bad offers out. But the new marketing campaign for them, or for this, at least in my market, I know for sure, is that this offer boost. If you're platinum, you're not going to be sitting and waiting. I wish I could show you a screenshot on my
I just
phone
don't think, I
where
just don't,
where they'll show the. Go ahead.
I believe that that is a thing, and you could even show it to me, and I might go, "Cool," but I'm so past the BS. I would go, "That's some fake," and I would
Oh
see
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what you're
no,
talking
it's
about. And I guess my point is,
100%.
we've seen one thing that we know. I've talked to people that have been in this game a long time, like me, and you too, and one thing that we've seen is when you just allow the Dash Now feature, you actually are, and for DoorDash, it's probably because of a lot of a loss of illegal accounts and things like that. And they need to keep those bad offers out there, but it won't last forever. In fact, I've said to people that a newbie won't stay on the app for a month trying to see, wait, how do I get the golden wand or whatever?
Mhm.
Like they're not going to care. They're going to get on and see how little offers there are, how many Dashers there are. I've always said the only thing that fixes oversaturation, because you got to have some. You don't know how many orders can come in a night. I get it, but it should be capped at some level. The company's not responsible, so it doesn't care. But I honestly think the best solution for oversaturation is let them all work it. Let half of them get the hell off it in 2 days because they're going, I can't make a dime. Then the
That's
rest
it.
of us can start sorting it out. And that's kind of what's happened here. It just takes a minute. You got to bear through some tough stuff. But
Yeah,
I
that
think that's the solution
would be
is
great.
what's happening. The Dash Now. Give it to everybody. For a minute, it will suck. But then in a month or two, check it out and let's see what it looks like then, because it's still not going to be gold, but you might be back to decent orders. And I will say this, I have trained my algorithm so that I don't see 30 DoorDash offers in an hour, but I might see 3 or 4. Now, if I'm only have DoorDash on, that's going to be a boring hour waiting to look at those. However, 2 or 3 of 4 are going to be acceptable to me. If 2 are acceptable, that's my whole hour anyway.
That's it. It's just working more efficient.
But
Like I
just
said,
show
I'd
your
rather
algorithm you do not take $2 no tip orders, because if you do, they're
you
just going to keep
have to
sending to
train
you.
it.
You
Your
have to train it.
algorithm, the second you take a bad offer in that morning, you log in, guess what you just said? I'm desperate. And that's
Yeah.
what they're going to send you. They know, oh, you know what? We don't have to pay for this one. Your ceiling is already put on there. Like, hey, they just took a $5 offer. Let's just offer 5 all the time and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's
And they've got it down to the
built.
T too. They might know you have this fishing hole or this fishing hole by these restaurants. And when you're in there, they know he's just going to wait for a big one. He ain't going to pick a little fish. But they know when they have you out of the zone, he might take this because he does not that familiar with this restaurant. He's only been there twice. Give him a
Yeah,
bad offer
yeah.
on that one. That algorithm is, for as horrible as the company is, it's very sophisticated.
Well, it's sophisticated to make them the maximum amount of money.
Right. Yeah. And
And
even
that's what
those
it's
that have
meant to
set
do.
standards, though, they're going to try and get it by you. But I'm just saying, have your standards and just say no.
Yeah, absolutely. You have
I
to.
would
You
rather,
have to.
I would tell everybody, listen, if I know it's hard to believe it, even on their first day, if I could have like a seminar with 100 new drivers, I would stand up in front of them and say, this is scheduled for an hour. We'll do it in a minute. If it's not whatever you need to make per mile, don't take it. Everything else on the app is fake. Don't do it. If your acceptance rate is 1%, I'll be proud of you. The company will say you're a failure, but you'll make more money.
And guess what? The company says you're a failure if you're at 100% AR. Everything that they send you is negative, you know? Hey, you didn't you had missing items and this and that, and it's like everything is so negative. You have to take a break from it sometimes because like you said, it's a mental beatdown. Um Constantly just getting bombarded with situation after situation, it gets very stressful. And then if you couple that with not making money on top of that, leading to financial stress, it's just a recipe for disaster. And honestly, like I would be really, really, really feeling this DoorDash situation in a bad way, because I haven't been getting as many offers. But then again, I don't really know because I've been multi-apping. So I'm doing my Amazon Flex early in the morning, 3:30 to 7 a.m. So before, where I couldn't even get an order or anything, I'd be up early and I can't get anything on Instacart. I couldn't get anything on DoorDash. But now I'm already getting that income from Amazon Flex. So boom, starting early. Then when I get back, I'll start with Instacart, do a drop at Publix, do a couple
Okay.
orders there, throw on DoorDash, and just go from there. Try to pick up another Amazon shift later in the day. So that's been saving me, and that's why I always say like this multi-apping. These You can't rely on these apps because tomorrow is always something different. The company can completely change its course and screw you over if you're relying on that one and only company, just like they did with opening up Dash Now. So I'm hoping, like, yes, I would like for the positive to come from it, where it starts getting rid of some drivers, but in the
It
end,
will. It
the best
will.
way is just,
Even I think you can imagine it takes a while.
yeah, it would have
Because
to.
when you
People.
flip over to everybody can dash now, everybody does right that minute. Boom. Okay, let's go. And even though that's the first day, it takes weeks and weeks and weeks for it really to filter out. And DoorDash during
Yeah.
that time is onboarding like crazy. They are letting the floodgates open. If you think they've been open the whole time, they haven't. They will let the
Well,
floodgates open, let
oh
everybody in,
yes.
but then they'll still dissipate. I'm telling you, a lot of people really will get on these apps, newbies, and if they can't make a couple dollars in the first few days, they will bounce when there's that much saturation, and that's good.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, it also is just going to depend market to market, and I guess the desperation of people in that market, because some people will just stick with it and take these bad offers. And if someone quits, there's going to be the next man up. Like, you go on Indeed and all these job sites, they
I
have
know.
advertisements for DoorDash and this. They are just going to overload so that they can drop base pay to 50 cents. It's just a bad formula, and it's been coming for a while, and just the progression has just been getting worse and worse. And I'm just fortunate, like I said, to have Instacart and Amazon Flex come in the clutch. um
So
it's
that's
just,
that. That's I got two more. I got two more questions for you.
yeah, yeah.
One is I want to know. I think it was a video from the last day or two that was you picking up an Amazon order, and I happened to see the tag above whatever you were grabbing the boxes, and
Yeah.
it said the time and it said the price. Was that like
Do you,
3.5 or 2.5 hours for $45? Did I see that right?
no, 45 packages.
Oh, okay. I thought it had a dollar
Yeah,
sign in
yeah,
front of
yeah.
it. So
So it's 3.5. They give you a 3.5 hour block. That block was 68.50. But the
okay.
blocks never take. That one I finished in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So the whole key is the to make the best money is obviously you have to be efficient. You have to live near a warehouse, because I did not live near an Amazon warehouse for the longest time, and that was me not being able to do flex because it wasn't profitable. By the time I drove over there, that's 30 miles already. Now I have to go out and do, another 30 miles. Now I don't know where they sent me. So now, it could be coming back 50 miles. And, for $50, I might as well just be platinum with DoorDash for that kind of money. So uh,
Yeah.
I just,
I'm
yeah,
glad. I'm so glad to hear
it's,
you say that. I don't know why I saw a dollar sign. I'm gonna now I
Yeah,
need to go
yeah,
back.
no,
I
no.
believe you, but now I need to go back and watch it just to know what my
Yeah,
eyes
yeah.
did on me because I was
That's
like, "What the
just
hell, man?"
yeah, that's just yep, it'll show a 3.5 hour block. They never put anything,
And
at
I
least
know
in my
Amazon
warehouse.
pays you if they don't need you too.
Yeah, if you get zero block, you just check out and you get paid for the whole block. So you're getting that pay
Yeah,
regardless of how quickly you do it. So
yeah.
that's
Or if you
why,
don't do
you
it
know,
at all.
it's if you don't do it at all, you know,
I
if
mean,
you
I know a
get
lot
if
of
you get a
people who
block
are like who
canceled.
have been doing it for years, and they're like, "Dude, you'd be surprised." I'm like, "But how often does that really happen?" They'd be like, "You'd be surprised, man. I get sent home a lot."
Yeah, I've been doing it for a few weeks and I've had it happen twice already where I go in and there's nothing, there's no activity outside, so you're just like, this is weird. We start in about 5 minutes. There's no carts out. Then they come out, they scan you, no route, and you get paid and get to go home. So
So,
those are, I don't think those are going to be happening anytime soon with the holidays coming in. So
but they do a whole. I gotta say, I've been in management positions pretty much my whole life, or as such, and I can honestly say that they're doing a horrible job managing something because if you are paying people for work they're not doing, something's wrong. You know,
and
like
and and those car lines are ridiculous. It's not just one or two or three cars. I mean, it's a row of 20 cars that are all getting checked out. No route, no route. And if that's happened to me twice in such a small amount of time, it's got to happen often.
I
Um,
mean, and this is upstate New York, and he's my buddy's here saying that 4 out of the last 5 days he's been sent home with full pay.
oh man, that is a beautiful thing. Good for I have to give it up.
I
That's
mean, that
good for
might
you.
traveler, that might be the streak of streaks. I don't know. We'll have to.
That
Anybody got
is
a better one than that? Because that's pretty good.
that is impressive. I had 2 out of 3 days where that happened, and that was fantastic. And then haven't had one since. It's
So,
four out
so
of
if you just
five.
wait, if you just waited, and you got in the back of that long line you were talking about, wouldn't you not get your order?
Yeah, it depends. It really depends. It really is the luck of the
It's
draw.
like the one
Sometimes they
time you
have
might get
it.
in the back of the line. Like
Yeah, but see, it's like a gamble because you'll get on the back of the line, but they'll still have something for you. So now you started late.
okay, I got you. I
It's a
got you.
gamble, and then maybe they'll stick a route that's going to like Altoona, Florida, where they don't have any roads right in the
Yeah,
back. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll
it's
say this. So on the roundtable, she's been doing her. She hasn't been with us for a few weeks. She's gonna be back because we're doing our last three in December. But Kim Side Money Plans has done many lives with me, many lives, and she is a huge DoorDash defender, supporter. Not in a bad way. She'll also cuss the company, and she has her finger on the pulse. But she always says what you're talking about with the shop and pays. And I told her, like, I don't even like the fact that I'm a smart guy and I can't understand the metrics that I don't believe in. But the shopping metrics are weird. They are really weird. And from what I've heard from
it
some
just
people,
makes
you
them
can get in
think.
trouble for something that's out of your control and put your account in jeopardy. And if that's right, are you just risking your account and you don't care, or do you not believe that can happen?
Well, with the pro shopper ratings, the big issue was that we don't control the stock of the stores.
Exactly.
So we're going in there, and if the item is not there, we're getting penalized right off the bat because now it's a
Yeah.
substitution. So
Yep.
regardless of getting that substitution, and we're communicating with the customer, doing everything that we need to do for customer service, the thing that we're supposed to be providing that DoorDash doesn't think we do. But we get the item and we substitute it. So we're successful in doing that, and we still get penalized for it when original item not found. Um, they also had the refund issue where if there was no item, the customer would request a refund. We get penalized for that. If there was too many refunds in an order, we would have to cancel that order and get out of it if you're a pro shopper because a couple of refunds alone just tank your stats. So it was a
Yeah.
lot of, you would have to manipulate a lot, in your stats by just picking and choosing the right offers. This store doesn't really have good stock. I can't even shop there because it's going to destroy my stats. Um, bailing on an offer that just there was nothing there, and they're just requesting too many refund. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I gotta go. I gotta cancel the order. Um, it's just a
So
lot of things that were out of control.
everybody tells me when I'm on the DoorDash app, dude, if you're gonna have it on, you gotta have this on. I've literally turned off shop and delivers.
See, that's the only reason I'm still on the DoorDash app is because of the shop and delivers.
So
It's
you're
the
saying
only thing.
I should turn it on. If I'm gonna turn the DoorDash app on, you're saying I should have that
100
on.
100%, because you know what? You can always decline. That's what I always tell people. You don't want to limit your options, because you could always
No,
say
I'm just
no. You
afraid
could
to
say,
almost accept one because I think I've heard about. I mean, I know you can be deactivated for not even turning on the app that day. So I mean, it's like you could die any day
but
kind of
yeah,
thing.
you're
But
not going to get deactivated for doing a shop, like replacing items. There's a way where um, where you scan the item, a barcode, and then there's an option that they give you, I have the right item, where you can kind of force through a substitution as the original item to keep your numbers up. This was back when they had the original item at 92%, which is ridiculous already off the bat. Now they just raised it to 96%, but now you have the option to take a picture of an empty shelf, and they can approve it, and then you won't get dinged for that
so I
substitution.
can go in and move everything off the shelf,
Essentially,
take
yes.
a picture, and then put it all back.
Yes. And that's if they approve it. So you have to have the tag in there visible. You have to have the
That's
bar,
what I mean.
everything. So there's so many things. But then, there's stores like Aldi that will remove the tag if it's not there and put something else in place. And you have places like I have Winn-Dixie by me, where if that item is not there, they'll take something of a different flavor or a different, item and put it in place there. So you can't take a picture. And then what? So now you get dinged anyway.
Right.
So it's
Or
like they're trying
I've
to.
had like a specific olive oil that, and I'll say like at my store, my local store, um, the what I would call the top shelf, the most expensive olive oils are on the top. They don't even have prices. I mean, they don't have
If
labels,
there's
or
no
it's just like,
if
dude,
no
if you
tag,
buy
they
this,
won't approve it.
you know, and so therefore, if it's out, it's out. I got nothing I can do.
There's nothing you would be able to do. Yep. So they've also been trying to fix the refund situation, where if the customer initiates the refund or requests a refund in the chat, it gets taken off out of your refunds. But if you're on the phone with the customer and they request a refund, you have to tell them, hey, can you request a refund in the chat, because it's not going to get registered on the phone and you're going to get dinged with the refund. So there's a lot of the things that you kind of have to manipulate. You have to manipulate the manipulator sometimes, and
Oh, I
that's
know,
just
I know.
what you got to do.
No,
Because Pro Shopper does it
and
does
all of
help.
us do it. I've just heard horrible things about the shopping, even from the dashers who like to dash. And
Yeah, no,
again,
I
they
have
do tell
not.
me the same thing as you. They say, "Hey, man, I do make more money there," but I've had some really want to rip things apart moments with the shopping
Yeah,
side.
some things, yeah, you'll get into situations, but I mean, it's just, I guess, the nature of the beast. I like the shopping part. I think that's really something that grew on me. It's the best thing in my market. The best way to make money with DoorDash in my market, for sure, hands down. Um, but yeah, even having Pro Shopper, it's what I think they meant Platinum to be.
Yeah.
Because as a Pro Shopper, you're not getting dinged with AR. You're not losing your Pro Shopper status because you're declining. You're getting, I've noticed from being Pro Shopper and when I was not Pro Shopper, the amount of offers that I got, shopping offers, almost tripled when I'm Pro Shopper. Not every single one of them are good. Far from it,
Right.
actually. But I have the option to decline because it's not affecting my Pro Shopper status. So I would decline. Oh, juicy one. Perfect. Let's take that one. Decline. Oh, another juicy one. So the Pro Shopper thing is really something that I truly think was what they meant this whole Platinum thing to be, with getting access and priority to better offers. At least with these metrics, I know they don't reflect how good of a shopper you are, and they penalize you for things that you shouldn't be penalized for that are out of your control. But they do help you get better offers, at least in my market and from what I've noticed. So you gotta do a little finagling here on the numbers,
And
and
I don't, I hate these apps for everything they do, but we have to do that with every app anyway. So I mean, I don't mind having to do that. I guess I'll turn it back on. It's not like
give it
cash
a
pay or
try. Give it a
something.
try. Give it a try. Look at it. I always say,
I
look at
just
the
yeah, just
items.
hate DoorDash,
Look at
man.
the items. Yeah,
Hate
I
it,
know.
dude.
I know. It's. And you know
I can
what
tell
the thing
I can
is?
tell that I'm like trying to get through a day when I'm gonna be honest, when I even turn DoorDash on. I'm just like, damn it,
It's
dude. It's
it's
like
getting
it's like
tougher.
it's come to that, huh? This day's come to that. I gotta turn
the
this
more
crap
the
on.
more apps the more apps that I'm getting access to, the harder it is to turn on DoorDash. It really is that way. I'll put on Instacart and be like, you know what? Let me just leave
Yeah,
DoorDash
because
off
you
for a little
remember
bit.
because you'll flash back to what it's like. Like, dude, I'll just sit
Oh
there and nothing's
man.
gonna happen. And
And I'm just thinking, if Spark comes through for me and Shipped or some other ones, I might
yeah,
not even turn DoorDash on, just because it really is a lot of headaches, a lot of PTSD.
no, it is. It is, man. A lot, and like I said, the psyche stuff is a lot too. I think that a lot
Yeah,
of people
yeah.
are having like mental episodes. I even think some of you trolls out there that might be rehearing this, I think you're having mental issues. Settle down.
They're losing it. Yeah, they're losing it. It's they're losing it in our comment sections, and it
Dave's
makes me
familiar with them because he
appreciate
gets them on
my
TikTok. So.
sanity. Yeah, yeah. It's just you call them out and then they disappear. It's always the ones they don't put their name, no picture. It's just no
Yeah.
shame.
Um, but you guys, that's a wrap for this week. I want everybody to go check out Dave, though. Hopefully, he'll be on YouTube soon. I know a lot of you don't venture over that way, but if you do, he used to be DoorDash Dave, but again, I think we had a Nova
Artist
Hustle type
formerly known.
situation. Yeah,
I hate that
exactly.
company. I don't want
AKA.
that company near me.
But now it's Delivery Dude Dave. It's right down there, and to the audio podcast and to everybody else, it will be in the show notes. So check them out. And if you don't have Dash Now in your market and you've been wondering about that, because we talked about that weeks back, it's real. It's just a rollout. This is how DoorDash does everything. They roll it out, and it's some markets will see it, and maybe those markets will even report to you back in a bad way. Like, dude, it sucks. Now it's way more oversaturated. And that's when I say it's better if it's all just above the board than than to like have to schedule a 2-hour block a week out. Please let me get Friday from 6 to 8. That's just bull. I mean, we should all be able to get on these. We're independent contractors and they should want us all on. They should just get rid of all this crap. But check out Dave. His whatever you're watching or listening to this on, his link is below. And Dave, thank you for joining on this episode. Been wanting to have you
For
on for a
having me.
while. He's got some good content over on TikTok. I know a lot of you again don't want to venture over to TikTok. TikTok can be weird, but TikTok can be fun too. Again, just like the gig
Absolutely.
apps, if you do venture over to TikTok, right away start watching things and liking
Multi-app.
things you like. But tune the algorithm quick, because if you don't, it's going to get out of control. And you're going to see a
Yeah.
lot of long form stuff you'll be sucked into because it sounds interesting. And halfway through it, you find out, like, dude, why am I even watching this crap, man?
What am I doing?
Or you like totally believe in the guy, and then like halfway through he says something stupid, like that reveals the whole thing. And you're like, wait, I'm listening to this guy. Forget this.
It's like I can't get that time back.
But there is some different content over there that's worth watching. And Dave's one of those people. I think his content's funny. I think he brings out real stuff and he exposes it, and he does it in kind of a
Relatable.
comical way. Yeah.
Try to make it relatable.
Or at least comical to me, because I'm sitting there laughing going, I get it. I totally get it, man.
Hey, everything is
you
just, real life experience, and it's just, hyped up a little bit, added
It
comedy.
is. It is, man. I know a couple other people in the Orlando market too, and I've never really understood why your market is so tough. It seems like it's so tough for all the apps, and I've never understood. You guys have huge amounts of people, convention centers, everything there all the time.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The ups and downs. It really is a roller coaster here.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
it's
for the
crazy.
faint of heart.
No. And but yeah, thanks Dave. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening.
Thank you.
And until next time, guys, be safe, earn smart, and peace, y'all.